Hello there friends and followers, and welcome to this Microsoft Flight Simulator video. Today we are going to be taking a look at the highly anticipated and recently released Douglas DC-6 by PMDG. This is not my first encounter with the Douglas DC-6 by PMDG. I've had this aircraft for X-Plane, and it was later made available for P3D as well, and I've enjoyed it thoroughly in both simulators. Having said this, the implementation of this aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator is something very special. As you can see, the 3D model is an exquisite and authentic replica of what you'd see in real life. This is the pinnacle of excellence in payware development for flight simulation. The use of PBR, the texture work, and all the details all around this aircraft, no matter where you look and from which angle, you will definitely see something that will please your eyes. Just look at those landing gears, the landing gear bays, the aircraft engines, the aircraft wings. Everything really has been done with excruciating amount of details and absolute finesse in the final finish. Really a job very well done by PMDG. We can say exactly the same thing about the 3D cockpit of this aircraft. Simply outstanding modeling and texturing to really create a very authentic and realistic experience. As you can see here, the overhead panel is again exquisitely modeled, and there's definitely a lot to learn about this aircraft. Really a wonderful rendition of the aircraft in terms of its 3D modeling and the texture work and all the fine details that makes this aircraft probably one of the greatest add-ons for flight simulation today. Let us now take a closer look at some of the features that ship with this aircraft, and we're going to begin with the PMDG Operations Center. The PMDG Operations Center is where you would go to download available liveries of the aircraft. There are two models that you can pick from, the PMDG DC6B and 6A. Simply by selecting the model or variant of the aircraft, you will be able to see the available liveries. While PDMG has made several tutorials on YouTube available to help get you acquainted with the DC-6 and help you operate the aircraft, there is also sufficient documentation that ships with the aircraft, including the pilot introduction, a pilot operating handbook, and a couple of tutorials to help you get started. When it comes to sounds, I have indicated in many of my review videos of payware aircraft that the sounds will make or break. And let me tell you, the sounds on this aircraft are absolutely phenomenal. I'm not sure if they were recorded from the real aircraft or not, but every switch, every knob, every lever has a unique sound. Let's take a listen. As you've heard, the sounds are phenomenal, and by the way, the engine sounds are just fabulous. And we will, of course, hear the engine sounds momentarily when we start the aircraft. Other features include, of course, everything is clickable and usable, including the window. So we can unlock it here. Again, listen to the sounds. Absolutely gorgeous. Just really nice sounds, nice attention to details. Everything really is done with a lot of care, with a lot of finesse to really bring this aircraft to life and really create an environment where you can enjoy flying this aircraft in the flight simulator. Again, you can see how the window sounds are done so well. There are different sounds when you open and close the window. And one other thing that I really like, and I've always liked in payware add-ons, is this iPad. And you can adjust it, so you can take it here and whichever position you like. I prefer this one here. The control panel has always been there with the PMDG. It's been there also with P3D. But I like how they've implemented this one here where everything is grouped, again, in a logical way. Of course, you have all the external elements. Let's go ahead and tick all of these to show you what things look like from the outside. And now you can see here we have all the static elements there, the ladders for the engineers. All right, let's go ahead now and open the aircraft exits. We're going to front cabin exit. We have to wait for it to open before we can open or deploy the stairs. So I think we can do that now, and you can see very nice animations of the door and stairs. There we go. Then we can do the cargo holds, main cabin exit, and main cabin stairs. And you can see things are happening right there. So now you can see all the aircraft exits are now open with all these static elements deployed. Really a job very well done. Very, very immersive, quite fun, very enjoyable. Just look at that very, very majestic look. All right. Other things available to you in the control panel is the aircraft state, so you can toggle between cold and dark, ready for start, and ready for taxi. And of course, you've got the cockpit lighting, off, white, red, and floodlights. Moving on to the fuel and load manager, you can manipulate the aircraft fuel here. So you can add your baggage fuel. You can set the fuel to 50%, set it to 100%. You can add more here, so you can see the baggage is being added here, and you can also adjust the number of passengers right there as well. I believe this is the weight of the passengers, not the number of passengers. We can go to the artificial flying engineer. As you can see, the flight engineer or the artificial flight engineer will help you start the aircraft. You can pretty much let the AFE do all the work for you before start, after start, all the way to parking. And we are going to use all of this in this video just to kind of show you how this works. The maintenance manager, again, is where you go to maintain the aircraft and repair any damage that has been caused by misuse of the aircraft. Again, I like this kind of stuff. I like this. It brings the aircraft to life. I think it brings a lot of realism. It makes your experience very enjoyable, the sim. We've got the engine stress visualizer. You can see what is happening with your engines. So you can see here overboost or mixture too lean. All of this information will be available to you here. And then if we go to the options menu, we can use a lot of different things here. So in the terms of the realism options, you've got engine damage, realistic start, realistic carb icing, realistic CB failure, AP disconnect, realistic AP engage. You can change the tablet brightness as well if you like. I just think this is fine. And you can use auto bright and it will adjust itself depending on the time of day. There is a couple of options for the GPS and radios. You can either use the Asobo GNS 430 standard, or you can use the PMDG Bendix radios with no GPS. So if we switch this here, then you will get the PMDG radios, or you could select the Asobo 430, and as you can see now we have the Asobo standard GNS device. Overall, really a fun aircraft, lots of nice features. And by the way, you can also deploy the seat here. So you can have, the engineer seat. The armrests are, again, just listen to the sounds, really gorgeous sounds. And both, by the way, both armrests are, can be manipulated on both sides. We're just going to remove the chair for now. For those of you fond of passenger cabins, you'll be very pleased to know that the full passenger cabin has been modeled in this DC-6. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for us to start this aircraft from its cold and dark state and take it for a short flight here around Innsbruck. We are going to fly around the area and head back over to the airport and land. For the startup procedures, we are going to consult our artificial flight engineer and let him set things up for us. So let's head over here, and we're going to start with the before start checklist.
Cockpit pre-flight. Before start checks complete. Start engines.
All right, we are now ready to start our engines, and starting the engines is actually pretty simple. We're going to head over here, and you can see that the engine 3 mixture is set on auto rich. We're going to head over to the overhead panel, and you can see the fuel booster pump for engine number 3 is also turned on, and the engine selector is on engine number 3. We're going to hit start.
3, 6, 9, 12.
Prime and boost. And there you have it. We have engine number 3 now running. Lovely sounds, and you can see also the vibrations. Now the cowl flaps are going to remain open while the aircraft is on the ground, as there isn't sufficient air to cool down the cylinders. So it will remain open until we get some airflow after departure, and then the cowl flaps will be closed. Lovely engine sounds, really from inside and out. The immersion, the attention to detail is really commendable by PMDG. All right, now that we have engine number 3 running, we can now start the engine number 1. So we're going to select the first the mixture for engine number 1 to auto rich, and we're going to select the engine number 1 from the engine selector, engine number 1, and the fuel booster pump for engine number 1 as well is now on, and now we can start the engine.
3, 6, 9, 12.
Prime and boost. And folks, now we have a good start on all 4 engines, and we can now again go back to our artificial flight engineer and do the after start checklist.
Start select and boost pumps. Off and off. Battery switch. Plane battery. Generators and inverters. Checked and on. Emergency lights. Armed. Ground power. Removed.
All right, after start checklist is now complete. Notice the vibration on the panel and all the needles here. Really very, very fine attention to details with this PMDG DC6. All right, let's go ahead and do the before takeoff checklist.
Boost pumps on low. Fuel selector and crossfeed. Main tanks and crossfeed off. Autopilot. Flaps set to 20. Windows and turbine.
All right, let's bring the aircraft to a complete stop now.
Extended and on. Before takeoff checks complete.
Before takeoff checklist is complete.
Straight out departure.
And right runway.
3 inches stabilized.
All right, let's go.
PMDG 6 altimeter 29.9 wind 268 at 8. Straight out departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 26.
All right, and here we go.
Power set. Buzz rate, gear up.
tell you guys, flying this aircraft is a real joy. We are making a left turn and we're going to head back to Innsbruck and land the aircraft. And if you've flown this aircraft in X-Plane 11 or P3D, it will definitely feel very familiar to you.
Set. Descent checklist, please.
Innsbruck Tower PMDG
Altimeter and flight
frequency
instruments.
change.
Cross-checked. Seatbelt signs on.
12601 PMDG.
Civilian from 4,600 feet.
All right, we're going to head back to the airport now and land. We are going to go to the before landing checklist.
Setting flaps 20.
All right, before landing checklist is complete, we are cleared to land runway 26 here at Innsbruck. And we're going to try to line up here with the runway. Well, folks, I tell you, I really enjoyed flying this aircraft around Innsbruck. It was definitely a challenge bringing the aircraft safely back on the runway. It is definitely an aircraft that requires some learning, and before I do a full flight, I think I definitely need to practice. But overall, my assessment of this aircraft is it is by far the very best aircraft available for Microsoft Flight Simulator. It is one hell of an add-on, really, from all perspectives, from the 3D modeling perspective, the features, the implementation, everything, sounds, everything has been done to perfection by PMDG. We are now heading back to the terminal area where we are going to park the aircraft, and we'll again call the artificial flight engineer to take us through the parking checklist. And now you can see that the engines are being shut down by idling the mixture. Based on my experience in this first impressions video, here are my final remarks on this Douglas DC-6 by PMDG. This aircraft add-on is by far the very best add-on for Microsoft Flight Simulator to date. It is a well-modeled aircraft, jam-packed with features, very well textured, with great sounds and brilliant attention to detail. This aircraft, without a doubt, receives the Q8Pilot seal of approval and a perfect 10 with the Platinum plaque. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching this video. If you have any questions, please do post them in the comments section below. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.